say goodbye. Remember me!
Welcome back, episode 130 of Revisited. A new content creator, but old topic. We are talking about Coco's Message is Pretty Bad. Not Gonna Lie by Fishmob's Movie and TV. You'll see throughout this episode that there's a giant fish thing on screen. They did it for copyright reasons. Disney does not play about it.
Ooh, they do not.
Description, boys. As we are want to know, because they got us done up once for it.
I would like to thank my editor, Patreon, PayPal.
Cool. So we heard a little bit of this, and it very much, I don't know what the message necessarily is going. Oh no, what's that face?
Pinned comment by the dude.
Okay.
I didn't realize that greasy was a racial slur, so sorry about that. Edit 2. Also, greasy is not a racial slur so long as I don't say greaser. So now I know it's okay. I'm undoing the edit that I made. Really, anything can be racial depending on how you. Yeah, I would say don't let people. Yeah, maybe let people. Well, you know, if you're cognizant of it and worried about it, let them do what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a minefield for people. And
what are you gonna do?
I'm not gonna tell people. I'm gonna let people go. What would you say the message of Coco is? Because this is about the message.
So I'm wondering if he's picking at a specific message or because the message could be follow your dreams no matter what. It could be family's the most important thing. It could be celebrating of the celebration of life of death. Respecting the
your
dead.
Elders.
It could be a lot of things if you so I'm very curious about what they extrapolated this specific message to be, because like I said, there's a lot of messages you can grab from it. It's the same thing as like a theme. Anybody can say, oh, the message is this, the theme is this. Yes, that can be a message. Yes, that can be part of the message. Yes, that can be one of several messages, or it could be the message. But very rarely will you ever get a one singular message and or theme.
So we did not watch this movie because of all the time wasting that we did. Yeah. So I've got a transcript just in case we need it.
Sure. Do you think we'll need it?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
Small quotes, because I'll listen back to a couple of moments just to get a refresher. And the exchange where they break the guitar, every line is important to
what's going on.
Yes. It is insanely important. No matter what you perceive the message to be, family, follow your dreams, whatever, every line is insanely important.
Okay. So let's get into it. Didn't even have this up yet.
Coco is a good movie. It has a lot of
End video. Let's get out of here.
All right. Positive 10.
Creative visuals, a stunning world, great emotional moments in a vacuum, a main character you can root for, and a genuinely heart-touching conclusion. You can like Coco. I too think Coco is a good movie. It's just one of those movies that's ultimately brought down by one of the worst messages I've ever seen.
Oh, did he just say, aye, he did?
Look, I know I have made a lot of negative videos, and I do want to make some positive ones. But this...
Then do it.
Yeah, you do you. You know.
Yeah, there's no... I've never gotten... When I've watched the YouTube channel, I've never been...
This is too much negative.
This is too much negativity. Now, I understand for people's shtick, something like an Angry Joe, that piece of shit.
Is he getting done up for something?
Oh, dude. You ain't hear all the... How he's taking that hard turn.
Is it woke or anti-woke? Alrighty.
What do you think?
Well,
let's just say it started with Last of Us 2.
Oh. All right.
But you know, it's different from something like that where you're expecting a bunch of negativity. Something like a Cinema Sins where you're expecting a bunch of negativity. But then you have things like Cinema Wins where you're expecting a lot of positivity. As far as video analysis goes, you can make 1,000 negative videos and 3 positive ones. You can make the opposite is true as well. You can make a miss and match. It's whatever you're passionate about in the moment that you want to create. Screw all the, hey, I'm making too many negative videos. Screw all that noise.
Whatever.
Needs to be said. Outside of one really good video that nobody has ever bothered watching, no one seems interested in bringing up this legitimate...
Yeah.
Let's see how long it is first.
I'm going to say it's like 5 minutes.
I'm going to say 14 minutes. Watch this boy be 50.
10 minutes flat.
Cool. Cool.
Did we do this video? Because I remember there was like a Coco video that we did that wasn't super. Did we do this video?
No, because we did the one where the dude was standing there.
Yeah.
So unless that dude is just standing there.
But Coco just uses that assumption of sympathy for them. Oh.
I would have remembered this
Coco
music.
does a lot of telling with the Rivera family because it's an easy tell to hide.
Hey, that music is really overbearing.
It's also coming from a speaker of a phone that has a case and...
questionable and possibly dangerous message Coco has. But before we get into that, let's go over a brief summary.
That's so good!
The movie follows a family called
Now this is where I'm gonna pause, because this is where we got done up last time.
the Riveras, who are well renowned for making shoes, but are also known for their distaste of music, after their great abuela's husband left on a musical trip and never returned. And because of that, their hatred of music developed as time went by, and the whole town knows it. Skip to modern day, and we follow Miguel and his attempts to try and follow his passion, music, while the family tries to force him into conformity with their anti-musical ways. That basic premise isn't bad on paper. With the right writers, it could work to tell a nice, kind-hearted story of healing from generational trauma and learning to let go of the past. But this is...
Okay, but you're talking about an entirely different movie now. We hear this so many times where it could have been this and that and that. And what you're... with Comey, we heard it from Plague of Grapes over on Twitter, where he's just like, hey... This could have been a really good exploration into like social anxiety and this issue that people have, and it's mostly played for jokes. It's just a different manga you want at that point. It's just a totally different story.
Yeah, I wonder if he just like keep the supernatural stuff but make it tighter, get the family more involved, the living family more involved. I don't know what exactly.
My thought is maybe when Miguel's in the other world, that's like 80% of the movie, and then 20% of the movie is coming to grips with the family, apologizing, and that type of stuff.
Well, let's hear what he hopefully has to say about that.
This is where the first of many problems start to shine. The first problem being that, much like Miguel, we're supposed to sympathize with the family.
I do not think that we're supposed to sympathize with the family.
The family is mostly cool, and in this moment, we're actively not sympathizing with the character crushing his guitar. We're sympathizing with Miguel.
Yeah. In the beginning narration, he was just like, the family now makes shoes, and everybody's cool with it. So they're perfectly fine with the no music.
Yeah. What indicates we're supposed to sympathize with the family here?
The problem being is that we never learn anything about the family outside of
No music.
And it's not like they go in depth with why each individual martyrs it. We
do learn a little bit about the family because you can see when Miguel's not really eating and his grandma just kind of piling it on. We get a little bit of the family. Now, of course, we don't get a lot of the family, and if that's your problem, absolutely.
We hate music because a dead guy from 100 years ago didn't return home, and a dead woman from 100 years ago banished it.
Yes,
hey,
they said that the music almost tore the family apart. That was the thing.
I have a coworker who was just like, my father's side of the family, they still kind of hate each other because of things that happened literally like 200 years ago, where they immigrated to New York and they were able to buy property, and one of them screwed them over at a grocery store. One of them owned it, and then they bankrupted it on purpose so the guy could buy. And it's just like, they've hated each other for generations. Mm-hmm. It happens. Like, what are we talking about here?
The opening narration, Miguel says music had torn her family apart and shoes held them together. So, in order to keep the family from being torn apart again, via music, the thing that happened before, no music.
And it doesn't help that this part is played primarily for jokes, and jokes only.
And this is the same thing that happened with Plague of Grapes. You just want a drama based on this thing, as opposed to a comedy family movie that kids can get a message from.
And this is the opening sequence. It's pretty lighthearted. We're going to get into the dramatic stuff later. Which we do, but let it be a little lighthearted at first. Cars are running down the street and she's yelling at them and chasing down mariachi people with shoes.
This is a very regular occurrence for her. It's just like, hey, no music. It's just a daily thing.
It shows her irrationality, if nothing else.
Part is played primarily for jokes, and jokes only.
Seriously?
How am I supposed to take this family's hatred of music seriously in a...
It doesn't even feel like the family hates music as much as she just hates music and wants to follow the rules of the family from her grandmother.
Dramatic sense, when all it wants to do is make us laugh at them. Why am I supposed to laugh at
no music
and then treat their hatred as something genuinely serious?
Because we see the serious part later. She threatens this dude with bodily harm. It may be an old lady shoe thing, but she harms this person. So she's willing to harm people in order to keep music away from her family.
And again, the smashing of the guitar, which was pure drama.
Now, it's one thing if this was just restrained to the family, but no, they will get the whole town involved if they must. This is not a family. It's a coalition of music-hating zealots.
What do you mean they'll get the whole town involved if they have to?
Hey, if Miguel's playing music, snitch on him?
Yeah. They said as they're walking away, hey, I told you to stay away from the square. There's a whole lot of mariachis there. So the mariachis are playing around Miguel. If the grandma was just like, don't play music around him, she clearly doesn't say that because people are driving by and playing music at their house. So how is the town involved in this?
And nowhere is this personified than in my least favorite Pixar character, period, Elena. This greasy piece of fossilized shiitake is the bane of my existence every time I watch this film. We're supposed to like her, or
why?
Yeah, we are not. This guy clearly likes music. Mm-hmm. We see that.
He just wants to play music. This is his passion.
She's keeping him away from that.
To the point where she smashes his guitar in front of him.
And this isn't like, don't go out there and be a beekeeper. This is music. This is humming. This is whistling. He starts to blow a bottle and she's like, nah, none of that. She is very irrational. Out the gate, we are not supposed to like this lady.
Yeah, I don't know where this is coming from.
Because we don't even know the full story about what happened to Hector at this point. It's just somebody left and the family was kept together by shoes. And now she's threatening people to stop playing music. If this is something that everybody agreed, gun control. Something that's just like, guns are bad. You know, there's a side of people that think that,
whatever.
But you can see people just going, I can accept somebody being very irrational about guns.
Yes.
But this is about music. So who's going to be like, yeah, get her, granny. Who's music? Who's saying that?
At this point in the movie, she's essentially an antagonistic force preventing the main character from following his dream. And again, like you said, it's not dreams of beekeeping, because even beekeeping safe if you know what you're doing. It's not dreams of like thrill seeking where I'm gonna scale the tallest skyscraper with no safety equipment, that type of stuff. No, it's not some dangerous thing. It is music, not even music, rhythmic sounds going on.
Humming.
Maybe sympathize with her like the rest of the family. But when it comes to her stern stance against music, she'll physically assault and terrorize other people.
You can't do this when you just said it was comedy. You can't then go, oh, and she'll physically abuse people. Like it's, oh, this is a terrible thing she's doing right now. We just said, how am I supposed to take it seriously when it's played for jokes?
And what makes you think in this scene we're supposed to agree with her? I can't even sympathize with her because I don't know why she hates it that much, because we don't really get that here and now. So it's just some old lady being crazy about music.
People. She is an active terror to her community, and somehow people still buy their product?
That makes no sense.
They make good shows. Hey, do you think Nestle isn't an active problem in the community with their child slavery? Are you still buying Nestle bars or anything else that is under the Nestle brand that you don't even know? Probably some bottled water.
This is generations of shoemakers.
Oh, but that one crazy lady, so I guess we'll go to the next town for our shoes.
Wouldn't be critical of it if it weren't for the fact, like I said, we never learn why she herself personally hates music.
She perceives it as her family being torn apart by music.
Probably the words from her grandmother in her ear, and she just grew up in that same vein.
Yeah, she does not have a grandfather because he bounced.
And whereas Coco is just like, hey, my dad, I only have good memories of my dad. Or maybe even Coco grew up hating music, and now in her senile age, she's just kind of reverting back to her child, like, oh, my dad used to play this for me. We don't know there. But let's just say that she didn't personally hate music. She still followed along with whatever her mother said, and now her daughter is just saying the same her grandmother said. It's just the same generational hatred of music born out of this. Our family almost fell apart because of this thing, so let's not have this thing around anymore. It'd be like if there was some ring that was passed down from the family, and one of the other family members stole it, and it's just at their house, and it's just not theirs now. And it's like, we're not even gonna go after that ring because it almost tore us apart. So let's just leave that side of the family alone. Let's just not even. But I want to go see my cousins. I don't care. They stuck. How many times have you not been able to go see your? Well, maybe I don't know how your family situation
stuff when you're young.
Sometimes it's just like, hey, you can't go see your cousin because we're beefed out with the parents. They don't say that, but it's just like, nah, you can't go see them. We don't know why, but it's usually because they slighted the parents in some way, and now we're suffering from it.
It brought back painful memories of Coco crying about her lost father. Or maybe it brought back memories of her hearing Coco and Imelda arguing over music. Is it really too much to ask for the writers and animators to dedicate a little less time on the adventure aspect and go a little bit deeper into the living family's ordeal?
It's not too much to ask for, but again, you're asking for something that's just not the movie. The movie is about the adventure, coming to grips with his family, blah, blah, blah. I'll stop playing music if you want, blah, 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 that type of stuff. Again, you can have straight up irrational hatred for a thing based off what somebody else told you. I mean, we're seeing that in the world today where people are just like, get angry at this thing, and people are getting angry at the thing. They don't really know what's going on there. They don't know the true story. They just know the story they're told, and it makes it sound like the other person is the really bad person. So hate them, hate what they're doing, hate that type of aspect of it. This is... But if that's what you wanted, cool.
Yeah.
If Bluey, a kid's show...
No.
Yeah, that's completely different.
This is an entire
running.
Come on, this is a TV series versus
hour 45.
And a TV series that an episode may be dedicated to just some one-off side note characters. It may be 20, 30 minutes, an hour of just these characters and what's going on with their life, as opposed to the main crux of the film being Miguel and his stuff.
Can get away with episodes dedicated to talking about premature birth and infertility? I think this multi-million
No.
Yeah, that's not a fair comparison.
Okay, what's the main message of Bluey? Because now I doubt it's premature birth. I doubt it's infertility.
It is this one episode, assumedly, with branching. It may come back later in the future, but you get this one 30-minute episode, and then you go off and have your woods adventure or whatever happens in Bluey. That's not fair to compare.
They have almost infinite time to do things. They can dedicate legitimately 3 hours to nonsense because they've got another 27 hours on the horizon.
And you act like not dark things happen in this. We saw a man disintegrate because he was forgotten. And we see a dude just like, I don't want that to happen to me. Seconds away from being forgotten.
I mean, Ernesto threw Miguel into the pit.
He died again down there.
It killed his best friend.
Perhaps it was the Teriso. Like, why you murdered him?
Murder! Hey, no, that's from the movie. Ernesto is such garbage.
Slime, and it's the best.
Or Pixar movie could afford going a little bit further into why the family hates music outside of...
No, see, oh, there you go. Outside of this joke show. But we already know why. It was in the narration. It tore the family apart, and now she's just following it. You'll see the rest of the family isn't really like, yo, cut that music out. It's basically her just following in the path of her grandmother. And the rest of them are respecting their elder and just kind of going along with what she's doing.
Because the family is very, very important.
Because of this, Elena doesn't come off as a hard but well-meaning individual like what they probably intended.
But it is.
Probably intended.
She goes, I'm hard on you because I care. That's a line of hers. She does not... One of the lines, and like I said, every line was super important. It was, do you want to end up like him? Where was it? I just had it. Help. Do you want to end up like that man forgotten, left off your family's ofrenda? And they see the Day of the Dead is very important to them. Family is very important to them. And they're just like, you are part of our family.
I'm not going to let you go down the path
of just being
almost ruined our family, so you end up ruined too.
Because let's not forget, they don't know what happened to him.
Ends up more like Burgermeister Meisterburger, a crotchety old person who enforces a strict ban on something just because of one single incident.
Yes.
It's not one single incident.
It is technically one single incident.
What's not one single incident when you put it like that? He's denigrating it by going, it's one single incident. And I'm saying it's not one single incident. It's a myriad of incidents. It's her losing a grandfather. It's her grandmother being irreparably changed. Mm-hmm. It's her mother, assumedly, going down the path of her grandmother. Of her grandmother. And thus reinforcing it's not just one thing.
Shifting focus to Miguel, his life is constantly controlled by Tyranno Senior Rex over here. So much so that a basic conversation about music can result in a vicious beating from her. Not to Miguel, but the person talking to him. As a result,
in that scene, she's just like, you dumb musician, how dare you tempt my sweet baby boy Miguel with this heinous music. Because as she sees it, they all feel the same because they don't know that Miguel sneaks away and listens to music. They're all cool with it. He does not. He doesn't showcase his music off to the family because they don't know at all. So she's just like, he agrees with no music bullshit. You are the devil tempting him. You.
Miguel must keep his passion a secret, and it does a good job at making you sympathize with him. He's just trying to be himself, but these controlling people just do their best to stand against him.
More so controlling person, as you said.
I get it, Miguel is an outcast. Of course they won't stand with him. If they're a part of his family. Yeah, almost everyone likes Miguel's music. He's not like Flick, where his passion tends to cause trouble. No, Miguel is only a black sheep in his music-hating family. And yet, people still like these peeps? I don't know about you, but I think there's another well-known Disney character that did something similar to his son and became quite infamous for it. We'll discuss that in a little bit.
Oh, will we?
But first, we should get to the juiciest part, the big emotional fallout. So basically, the family finds out about Miguel's music obsession, and when Miguel rightfully calls them out for their shit, Elena decides that the best way to prevent her grandson from running away like his ancestor did is to just destroy his guitar.
No.
Don't forget, he just told her off. You see everybody's shocked face.
She said, do you want to end up like that man, forgotten and not on your family's ofrenda? And he goes, I don't care about being on the stupid ofrenda.
And that's what causes it.
And it's just like, oh, you're forsaking your family for this music again.
So I'm going to put a stop to this now.
No more music now.
It's literally happening again.
Legitimately.
But they don't see that they're the cause of it happening this time. They just see, hey, music is making him disrespect his family.
And let's hear how he says what he says about Miguel doing that, because I was just
running
like,
away like his ancestor did is to just.
I gotta go all the way back. Not all the way back. That's too far.
I told you I got to, because the way it does it now.
It could have been a couple seconds, but
no, it doesn't go past that. It doesn't go in that
Yes,
direction.
it does.
Oh,
I
okay.
made OBS.
So basically, the family finds out about Miguel's music obsession, and when Miguel rightfully calls them out for their shit, Elena decides that the best way to...
No, he does not rightfully call them out for this.
He said, I don't care about being on your stupid ofrenda. Which is different from saying, it wasn't just a, hey, I love music. Can you please give me back my guitar? It's irrational that we act this way. It was, I don't care about this stupid family.
What's all this? Keeping secrets from your family. Establishing family is the most important thing. All this time he spends on the plaza, fills his head with crazy nonsense. That's two different people, showing that they accept what the grandmother is saying. It's not a fantasy. The man was Ernesto de la Cruz, the greatest musician of all time. We've never known anything about this man, but whoever he is, he still abandoned his family. That is no future for my son. There's so much in that. Even if he was, music still did that. It made him forsake the family. I don't want that to happen to you, son. Miguel goes, but Papa, you said that family would guide me. Well, Ernesto is family. I'm supposed to play music. Never. This man's music is a curse. I will not allow it.
Because he left his family.
Because he left his family for music. They have no frame of reference for music in the family outside of this dude piecing out. You will listen to your family. No more music. Just let me play. End of argument. You want to end up like that man. And that's the entirety of the thing. There's so much in that. It's not him telling them off. I'm using your words. You said family will guide me, and he's my family. Don't care.
Yeah.
He bounced.
Yeah, and you see what he did once he got that music in him.
He left.
So, no.
So still no. It's not him telling them off. It's not them being irrational. It is them coming from a logical standpoint of music will make you, from what we've seen in our family, music will make you leave. We do not want that. We want our family. It will make you leave. It will make you be forgotten. Because again, he just disappears. They don't know what happened to him. Well, they don't know what happened to him before he's Ernesto de la Cruz. But even now, they don't care about Ernesto de la Cruz because they don't know who he is.
They don't know. They don't care about the world's greatest musician or whatever.
At the end of the day, all they care about is he left. He left his family. He chose music over his family, and they don't want that for Miguel.
To prevent her grandson from running away like his ancestor did is to just destroy his guitar right in front.
You can see the father try to stop it because even he realizes this is not the way to go about it. But she was so hurt by what happened.
Look at the facial expressions because it's so good. It goes from shock to looking down at the guitar, realization to anger.
Her grandson from running away like his ancestor did is to just destroy his...
Look at that! Shock! You would say that about our family? What's causing this? This guitar smash!
It really is.
It's in a second!
Like his ancestor did is to just destroy his guitar right in front of him, crushing his dreams in a pretty cold-blooded moment.
Absolutely.
This not only confirms everything Miguel hates about his family, but yeah, this is in fact a form of child abuse. Sure.
Yes,
absolutely.
Not to be taken, not to be sympathized with, not to be cheered for.
No.
This is bad. This is our hero. This is a lady acting very irrationally about music. Be that as it may, no matter what happens, she is depriving him of something. This is to be seen as a bad thing.
Yeah, I don't know what he expects this is celebrated or something.
Yeah, no. It is depicting what you wanted, those dark themes or whatever. You know, stillbirth, whatever you said about Bluesy. You're getting your child abuse here of her depriving something that he loves. He made that guitar lovingly. He was going to be in a competition. They took that from him. They taken away joy from him. You've gotten what you want.
Isn't striking him or throttling him or something of the like, but this is directly targeting Miguel on a psychological and emotional level, even if it's not her intention. And it's this that causes Miguel to run away. Yeah, I know the rest of the family thought she went too far as well, but
There's no presumably you can see the father literally reaching for the guitar before she smashes it.
the fact that no one thought of stopping her says everything.
We literally just saw the clip of the father reaching out.
It was a second. It was her pulling the guitar up and pulling it down to smash it. It was already over by the time it started.
Not even Miguel's own parents tried to stop this little...
What do you want him to use his spider powers to stop her? His super speed? He yells out her name, goes to stop her, and in the next second, it is smashed. What do you want?
This probably counts somewhat, maybe. Nobody
Tackle
tried
her.
except, I guess, this guy, maybe.
Except for this guy raising his arm, moving forward, saying her name to calm her down. What more could he do? Muff and break a bottle and try to stab her. This dude.
Even Miguel's...
I love how the characters under that just tells me this is a pirated copy. And
Beautiful.
And the poster is in a different language.
Beautiful.
Oh, my table. Caught on my chair.
own parents tried to stop this little piece of rock over here.
And again, couldn't cut that out.
Couldn't. Impossible.
And for the people, audio only style listeners, they're not going to see that. So they're just going to be like, yep. Or they're going to be like, no, you're wrong. But no matter what the case may be, this is lesser because you didn't add that audibly.
And with all that's happened, I dare say Miguel is in the right for running away.
Yes.
But this is where I start talking about my least favorite part of this movie's message. The movie's main theme and message is about being with your family and appreciating them. So,
I mean, I guess, but follow your dreams, because Miguel is right in the end.
Yeah. Accepting your family faults and all could be seen as one. Anything.
Accepting your family, how does that resolve the conflict? Because he had already accepted Hector without knowing that he was his family.
Mm-hmm. He had already poo-pooed Ernesto, even when he still thought he was his family.
What do? They try to both side the issue. They want the family to be at fault for not allowing Miguel to be himself, and they also want Miguel to be at fault for not understanding the importance of family.
He literally said, I don't care about being on your stupid ofrenda.
Mm-hmm.
He literally, his family said, we'll send you back no music. Okay, fine. No, I'm going to play music. I'll find the one family member that agrees with me and tries it. And then he sees all the pain and the hurt he caused, and he goes, I'll go back, no music, it's okay.
Both sides can be in the wrong. Both sides can have parts that we disagree with. Miguel he ran away. Family is very important. Mm-hmm. This is the night of family. They're coming back. You put your picture on the ofrenda with the gifts and stuff.
And he says, I don't care
about family. You're not going to be like, yeah, the family. Both sides are not in the right completely, but you should be able to see both sides of the argument for both sides of the family.
Sorry, but seriously? You've given us no reason to want to see Miguel return to these dolts. But they
are his family, no matter what. It's psychologically abusive with what the grandma did right here. But before that, it was none of that. It was just music. So,
which you said was even played up for jokes.
Part, we're supposed to let what Elena did to Miguel slide like it was just some bog standard overreaction of family.
No, it is not the light is on or the light is off. You can see sides of this. It's not just I agree with Miguel or I agree with the grandma. I agree with parts of what the grandma did. Too harsh. Miguel leaving, what was his plan? He's gonna come back. But that's a kid being irrational and just leaving. I hate you guys. Wham, run away.
Yeah, if she would have locked up the guitar, it would have been a way different feeling of what happened there. He still could have ran away. He still could have. But what she did was way overboard.
It's the most extreme. You do not have it. There is no possibility of you can have it if you're nice, if your grades are good, whatever. No, it is gone. Music is gone. You no more of that. No discussion.
Member may have. You know, like how Marlin was overreacting when Nemo was considering going out into open water to touch the butt. Actually, that's a good comparison. Both of these are reactions a parental figure has that ends up driving the one they wanted to dissuade away. And, by proxy, kicks...
No, but Nemo's dad was right. Don't touch the butt. She is not right in smashing his guitar.
I've never seen Nemo, so I don't really
off the rest of the movie as a whole. The difference is that Marlin is not an asshole. Yes, he's over.
Oh my God! So, people act differently.
Yeah, everybody must be nice about everything at all times. Again, I do not care about family. I will go out there and, as she said, be forgotten for my music.
And once again, it's happening.
I don't care about my family.
And somewhat controlling, but his intense fears are understandable. Marlin bore witness to the death of his entire family. This trauma led him to want to
and music broke their family apart.
Yes.
Left her grandma to be a single mother.
And again, this is all coming from the very bitter grandma. So whatever lens she's putting through, that's what she's seeing it as. So she's gonna take that.
Protect Nemo, if a little too much. It's understandable why he would act this way, and the movie dedicates time to showing us how he's growing out of that mindset and moving on from this trauma.
Again, this is an entirely different movie. Mm-hmm. The adventure there is literally finding Nemo. Miguel is in a whole nother world. There's no way they can go there.
He's got to go through his own struggle of, do I want to follow my dreams or do I want to be with family? And you're seeing that if you're not with family, then you will not exist anymore.
But it's not just Marlin growing as a person. Nemo is growing as a person, realizing how much his father cares for him.
Hey, you know who grows as a person? Hector, Imelda, Miguel. Those are the people we see grow because they're the crux of the movie. Because it's the wife that got left.
That's
so music. It's the husband that left.
They're just like, oh, wait a second.
That broke the family apart.
As he was going to go back, because he goes, after a couple months, I got homesick and I was ready to peace out. But Ernesto was just like, I can't play without your music. He was just like, yeah, you'll figure it out. He was going to go back.
And then we have Miguel, who's a byproduct of the hatred of music and the love of music. They're all growing. And the guy that said family is now like, I'll go back to my family, even if it means I can't play music. It's okay.
Because he's learning the importance of family.
And learning to truly become more of his own man. Or fish in this case. Elena has none of that.
Because she's not there. The movie's not about her. She's just a byproduct of Imelda.
Mm-hmm.
Who we do see grow and change. And then once the world realizes what happened to Hector and Ernesto, the family kind of just lets that go now.
She doesn't do this out of trauma. She's just doing this because some grandparent told her to.
No, yes, growing up her whole life she heard this. That is, so you're going to be like music. If every time you do the bottle thing and your grandma comes out with a shoe, the whole family is accepting of this. She was accepting of this. It's there.
He's saying that because there was no personal drama, it doesn't count.
It doesn't have to be personal trauma. It could just be, like you said, watching your grandma crying about music.
About being alone.
And the super importance of family. This guy left for music. I don't want my family to be broken apart because of music.
I think there is a genuine difference between assuming your child is doing something dangerous and doing this.
Yes, there is a pretty big difference there. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Next point. Danger versus the potential of danger.
It's not even the potential of danger. It's
potential of him leaving and
becoming that guy that left.
What Marlin was doing was overbearing. What Elena did was downright cold-blooded.
Yes.
And you're not supposed to sympathize with her. You're not supposed to connect with her in this moment. None of that. But you're supposed to connect with Nemo's dad.
He had already framed it in the beginning of this as the lady that we're supposed to
sympathize with. No.
He had framed that already. So the argument is made, this is the good guy and she's doing a bad thing. Isn't that crazy? No, she's not. She's being extremely irrational and controlling and overbearing and everything of all those things that you said for good reasons in her eyes. But I'm not going to be like, oh no, you're supposed to be like, what the f is she doing?
Heck, I know at least one person out there will compare this scene to the cart smashing scene in Wreck-It Ralph. But unlike the former, these two are not comparable. The cart scene happened right before the third act, after time was given to develop Ralph and Vanellope in order...
You're fighting somebody who is potentially going to make this argument.
Yeah,
this
is a literal straw man.
You don't know what their argument is to compare it to. You're just going, nope, don't matter.
Somebody's going to make the comparison and I'm going to kill it right now.
To show us why Ralph would do this and how much of a betrayal to Vanellope this is. The guitar scene, on the other hand, happens right before the second act, never giving us any time to know anything about Elena outside of...
We do know a lot about her because she was there and very prominent for the first act.
Yes. We know, what do we need to know about her that we don't know? We know she doesn't like music. We know why she doesn't like music. We know how she handles music. We know how she feels about her family. We know how she feels about the man that left. What more do we need?
This makes us feel sad and disappointed that Ralph would do something so horrible.
I am sad that Miguel is not able to live his dream.
Yes.
His guitar that was smashed was something that he had made.
How do you not feel sad? It's a different type of sad. This is a sad of Ralph is doing a thing that he thinks is right in order to save this girl, blah, 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 whatever. And you can see it from Ralph's point of view. Whereas this is sad, this is happening to Miguel, but we're not supposed to see it from Elena's point of view. She's a piece of shit in this. We're sad for Miguel, not at what's happening for Miguel.
And feel even worse for Vanellope. This just leaves me with a feeling of disgust towards the Riveras because of how willing and angrily they do something this horrible.
It's not they, it's her. She's doing it and they're complacent in it. Even though somebody did try to stop them.
Miguel, and how no one would step in to stop this.
And that's why he had to leave that line in, because it makes them all seem worse, even though somebody did try to stop them. Fix the line, fix this line, and it lessens your criticisms, so I'm just gonna keep it in.
Not even his own parent.
But, dude,
This is crazy at this point.
Dude, come on now.
This doesn't make me like the Riveras, not in one bit.
You're not supposed to like them. They don't like music.
The main crux of the movie and Miguel's dream.
Music. They do musicals. You know what you're getting into with a Disney movie. It's more than likely gonna have a lot of songs. So you're just like, oh, these moms hate music. This thing that I'm here to see. Yeah. No.
All this does is make me feel even worse for Miguel and to be
Like the movie wants you to. Because he's who we're supposed to sympathize with.
frank, all this does is make me not want to see him return to his family. Also,
we see up until this point, outside of the no music stuff, we see them be very loving. We see the grandmother be very loving. He seems like he's brought up in a very loving household. They're just she's just irrationally against music.
this is the last time we see the family until the ending.
And see,
They're
that's
just-
what he wanted. He wanted more of the family,
Yeah.
real life, alive family.
He wanted them to also go there and be searching for Miguel. Instead of the people of the past searching for him, it should have been Imelda and the rest of the family.
forgotten about and are never truly acknowledged until said ending. We
How
never-
how would they be acknowledged? He is in the land of the dead. Do they go there too? Do they pass him like items that will help him in his journey? What exactly? How could they help?
see how Miguel running away or Elena's decision affected the family? If they did something like with Triton, skip to him later in the movie and see how his hasty decision ended up affecting him personally, that would have worked better.
This was over the course of a single night.
Yeah.
I guess you could have them looking for him. And maybe a line that's
But
just
what
like,
he really wants is after he plays for Coco, they all go into a room and go, Miguel, your music was beautiful. We were in the wrong.
But no, we don't get anything. You get nothing. Oh,
no,
but I'm not.
you get our hatred of music was not correct because we assumed this dude bounced for music when you've got a drawer full of letters going, I love you so much, my daughter. Can't wait to come back to you.
Yeah, but why couldn't we see them reading the letters and learning about it and getting a lesson.
She goes, I love this. My dad used to play this all the time for me. It's
remember me.
That sack of garbage.
Done yet. Miguel, believing he is the descendant of the great musician Ernesto de la Cruz, decides to play his guitar and is banished to Dead Man's Wonderland as a result. So his great-grandmother decides to help him out by sending him back to the living world, only on the condition he rejects music. So you're telling me this rejected Undertale character would rather watch her great-grandson be damned to the spirit world?
It's literally during the night. If he agrees to it, he wouldn't be damned. If it came to the point where it was either send you back with music or not send you back, she would have sent him back.
But this is an old lady going, I am family. You must respect family. You don't want to die, do you? She's thinking music sucks. He's grown up in this music hating family. Of course he's going to choose life. Who wouldn't choose life? He's going, you have no other options here. You take this and live no music or you die. Nobody's going to take that. In her eyes, she doesn't know about Ernesto. She doesn't know about Hector. She's just going, this is the way.
For all eternity, then strum a guitar. Tell me, why am I supposed to like this medieval reject again?
You aren't supposed to like her right here and now. She is again acting irrational. She's the one that put all of them thoughts into the grandma's head. So no, you're not supposed to like her right now. Because again, she is taking away something that he loves. He got into this situation because of music. She's like, oh no, none of that music, boys. Otherwise, you're gonna be here dead and I don't want that.
Speaking of which,
in order to stop you from coming back here because of music, no music.
Let's go back to that tragic backstory. I know Hector didn't return and it soured her quite a bit, but why didn't Imelda report Hector missing? I'm pretty sure any loving or reason...
Because this was in the 1910s, 20s.
For all she knows, the guy left, stopped writing
on his own free will,
stopped writing to them,
probably got a mistress,
stopped trying to contact them, just left them for months and years. And at that point, it's like, no, him. Because she knew where he was up until the point he stopped writing.
And the way that Miguel tells it is the way that I'm sure she told it to Coco, to the granddaughter, and everybody. Miguel says, and one day he left with his guitar and never came back. He also had a dream to play for the world. And Mama, she didn't have time to cry over a walkaway musician. And after banishing music from all of her life, she found a way to provide for her daughter. She rolled up her sleeves and learned how to make shoes. So what she did was just like, he wants to go, I gotta provide for my daughter.
Because again, there were letters being written until a certain point. Why would she think, oh, he got killed? Oh, he's dead somewhere.
No, it's that in music that took him away. He's out there living the high life. He done forgot about us. We move on. He is a grown man. Why would he be missing?
No,
Hey, investigator, find this man. Okay, where would he be? I don't know. He's a traveling musician.
Last I knew, he was in Europe.
You have some postmarked letters, but again, days, weeks between those letters. What's the lead there? And what if she did and nothing came back because he's a corpse?
Family member would do that first before assuming the worst.
But again, it wasn't the first thing. He was writing, everything was cool, and then he stopped writing. Her first thought isn't, oh my God, what if something happened to him? It's, he just left us.
Me with a daughter.
Because even while he's writing in letters for a few months, she still has to be there providing for Coco.
But given that Imelda just immediately assumes he abandoned the family, I can only assume
What would you assume when a guy is traveling through the world? You have no way to contact him.
And he doesn't try to contact you anymore.
What do you assume? Now, that could go through her mind. But again, how do you follow up to that? There is no report to the police that he's missing.
Is not a loving wife, nor a reasonable member of the family, which...
And to never play music again.
...really isn't a surprise. Also, the movie states that those who are forgotten will disappear forever. So, by proxy, they're saying Miguel will suffer a fate worse than death because he didn't appreciate his abusive family?
No, they still remember who Miguel is.
Mm-hmm. It's not about loving them, it's forgetting about them.
He'll be remembered for at least like 70 years if the story isn't passed down of your Uncle Miguel or your grandpa or your great Uncle Miguel or something. Do you not understand what the final death does? Or what the purpose of it is?
While also saying being famous is important because it will grant you basically what is immortality. So as I was saying, I think this movie's message is terrible, not gonna lie.
But that's not what Miguel wants. He doesn't want to be famous, he just wants to play music.
Yeah. And again,
De La Cruz, that wasn't his purpose in becoming a famous musician to live forever. Because he didn't know about the Deathland. It's just a byproduct of it.
I actually kind of hate this aspect. I get that the final death is a metaphor for how people will always live on in our memories, but it raises so many questions that are never answered.
What's the question?
Only photographs and ofrendas allowed?
No, the memories!
Yes.
Because Coco goes, I remember my grandfather, and that's what happened! That's why he was able to keep living!
Yeah.
This only allows them to cross over until on the Day of the Dead to see their loved ones.
Yes.
To cross the bridge.
It's literally just about remembering.
It's memories. There's nobody to remember you. I'll remember you, Hector. It doesn't work like that. It has to be memories passed down by living people.
So asked and answered.
Watch the movie.
People to visit their families was the same.
I'm sorry. Let's hear exactly what he said there.
Are never answered. Do only photographs and ofrendas allow people to visit their families? What?
Yes. Your photo has to be on the ofrenda.
Yes, that's why they scan the faces and then it goes
to make sure it's on the ofrenda. That's why Hector could not cross over, because his face was not on the ofrenda.
Was this same photo rule applied back in the time when cameras didn't exist? Are all people...
Sure, that's a good question.
Yeah. That's... a lot of people like to talk about nitpicks. That's a nitpick. It doesn't really do anything for the movie to go blah, 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 whatever, whatever. Maybe the rules change, there's technology change, since they have face scanning technology. I'm sure they didn't have that in the 1400s in the Land of the Dead that you could scan faces.
Sure, but that's not really something that I care too much about.
Yeah, nitpick.
Subject to this rule,
I'm sorry.
Christianity, are they?
Including people from separate religions?
I would say no, because this is a Mexican Day of the Dead. You put the picture on the ofrenda and then they come, that's the link back there. So
I don't think we see many or any people really that aren't of Mexican descent in the Land of the Dead. Maybe this is just their version of quote unquote heaven. And there's different versions of the Land of the Dead for like different continents in the world of the Land of the Dead.
Yeah, this isn't something like Bleach where they just go, yeah, we govern souls and every soul in, there's got to be a soul out. And that's like, that doesn't make too much sense. I can absolutely accept that this is just a Mexican tradition and it's Mexican people exclusively. I can accept that.
In all honesty, I don't think this was
Are those
really...
the questions?
Yeah.
How Again, how does that really affect the story? I don't
know why.
Yeah. Again, Bleach, we had to kill 15,000 souls because there was an uptick in deaths in the living world. Makes sense. Here?
No, it don't.
Well, makes sense in terms of like in
a soul for a soul.
Yeah, soul for a soul, but doesn't make sense in terms of the world because do they have to be like, hey yo, West Branch, y'all got some people that can hop over? No, I don't think that the story would be better or worse by seeing a Japanese person walking around. Should the question be answered?
No.
It's a movie. You know, there's not too much time here to
I would
explore.
Say the question of are Christians allowed in this Day of the Dead area?
I would just simply say no because it is a Mexican tradition.
It is not a question to be asked or answered.
It's a Mexican tradition. I can accept that. What could be said against it is a Mexican tradition? So no, they should have another option, or maybe they don't. We should see it. Yeah, maybe.
No, absolutely not. That's goofy.
Yeah, how do you introduce something like that?
Like they're on the phone and just like, all right, that was the American branch or something.
Yeah.
Like
there's no real way to introduce it. It does nothing for the story to have it there. It's not like Miguel was transported to the East Asian part of it and he had to find his way back to the Mexico. It's just not anything.
Religions? In all honesty, I don't think this was really all that well thought out. And
it doesn't need to be thought out because you're asking questions that do not matter.
Yeah.
Can Christians be here? Like, what type of question is that? And it does answer the Ofrenda thing, but the back in the day thing, sure, it doesn't answer that. But again, we're not back in the day. We're in present times right now. It's not something that's affecting the world as it stands.
Let's be honest, it was probably just a way to force Miguel to see the importance of family. But
it's not forcing him, it's making him realize the importance of family because he sees all these people, and to him before this point they were just a bunch of pictures and a bunch of stories. Now it's just, oh, they're here, they're appreciating the fact that we leave out in juice or whatever for them and that we're remembering them, and you know, and then he also sees what happens when you're not remembered. So he's just like, dang, this my uncles who I don't really know, but I don't want them to disappear. That is important.
To be fair, being Thanos from existence is a good motivation to make him want to get...
I watched that last scene. It's always that trepidation when he's getting his face scanned that always gets me. And then that relief, that is the hardest in the... I was just, because he, right before he scans, he looks to the right for like 0.5 of a second. I'm like, he's thinking of running. I'm like, oh, it's so good. And the Proud Corazon. Get in there.
Is the...
Get in there.
Is the...
Back to the living world. So to avoid being Thanos...
What are you doing? I'm walking like...
Yo, Coco's such a good movie.
Back to the living world. So to avoid being Thanos for all eternity, he goes looking for Dela Cruz, his idol and his supposed great-grandfather.
But here's the thing, you're also not taking into account. Miguel would be fine disappearing. If he learns about the disappearance, he would be fine disappearing if it meant...
If he got his music.
If it meant... I can't go back with no music.
He's living his life to the fullest by doing music. It's either a life of misery and then an afterlife of presumably misery. Maybe he could play music in the afterlife, but then he's got to be around his family. So double life of misery, or I roll my bones when I can and then I'm out.
But as we learn, he was the reason why Hector never returned. He murdered him and stole his songs. And now knowing the truth, Miguel just wants to go home with his family. But is that really how this should go? Because this isn't Miguel realizing the importance of family. It's him being practical. Miguel is slowly dying, and his only choices are...
Dude, he literally just said family right there when he touched Hector's shoulder. When Hector's hand was on his shoulder and he touched it, it's like, family's the most important thing. Yes, he does learn this lesson.
Return to his dream-crushing family and live. Get his blessing from a literal murderer, knowing that he's only helped secure that...
It wouldn't work because they're not family.
That's why it didn't glow.
...man's false legacy, or just straight up die.
Cheese, rat poison. Cheese, rat poison. Duh.
This doesn't force Miguel to reassess or reevaluate anything about himself or his priorities.
It does! He goes, I'll go back with no music!
If I didn't want this dumb music crap, if I didn't believe in fraudster, I wouldn't be in this situation. I should have listened to my family.
It's just a multiple choice.
Because now, what is outside of in the living world, what do they see? Miguel left because of music and he's never coming back. He's gonna be dead. He's gonna be forgotten. No friend, maybe they'll put him up, maybe they won't, maybe they'll still be a little bit pissed, but
I think they would, because they'll realize, oh, we stuck. That was some sweetie.
So yes, he's looking at it not only as I'm about to die, but also my family was right, and they're sad because I left for the thing that they said, and they're probably just, Miguel's probably like, they're just gonna triple their effort of no music because now it's true.
Which poison he should pick? Of course he'd take the least devastating one. I'm pretty sure if you put Frieza in this position, he'd make a similar choice, if anything just to get out of the afterlife.
No, Frieza would love to be there if he could just kill everybody and rule over it.
And he's looking at this like, Ernesto, he killed his best friend for music. Hector, he's a literal bum who's gonna be forgotten in like 5 minutes for his music. Music got him into this situation. Music got everybody in this situation into this situation. So he's just like, dang, maybe it's not worth it. Family though.
And Miguel says,
family comes first.
Is hollow because the movie never works to make it feel earned.
All of this,
that entire journey doesn't feel earned. Him being able to play with this fake grandfather.
His grandma sings music, showing that she likes it. So it's just like,
I love music.
You don't even hate music. It was never about music. It was about this dude leaving you.
And he goes, I'll go back with no music because family comes first.
All of his family, all of his music hating family worked to get him back there.
Not from his side or the family's. And don't get me started on the ending. Yes, the scene is nice in a vacuum, but even after all that has happened, Elena is still standing against him. Sure.
Yes, because it's
been a night. He left because of the guitar, and then he comes back with the guitar after saying, "Yo, family."
It's like, I got another one, motherfucker. She's like, oh, I got you. I got you. Don't worry. Hand that over.
Hey, this is like Hydra, motherfucker. You smash one guitar, bring out 2 more. What you want? Looking for the transcript.
Yeah. I'm trying to see what she said. All of you, all of you. Where have you been? I need to go see Coco. What are you doing? Give that to me. Yeah.
She lets him play for Coco, but if it weren't for this previously useless father, she would have...
Yeah, that's useless.
Yeah,
trying to stop the smash of the guitar.
Yeah, cool. Showing how he's trying to be useful. but failing.
Very likely done the same thing she did the night before, but this time to a cherished cultural heirloom.
They don't care about that cherished heirloom.
They care about Miguel, and Miguel's like, I want to play, and the father's like, let him play, because we saw what happened when we smashed the guitar. I could have lost my son.
And it's just like, oh, they're gonna lose this heirloom. They don't know who this guy is, and they don't care.
I don't think I need to tell you what the ramifications of that would have been.
If
what would have the ramifications?
How do you find that they broke that guitar?
Said the scene is nice.
No, I don't want to tell you what the ramifications are. What are they?
But
what is the importance of that guitar? Would it be a fine? Would it be jail time? It's got to be just theft.
Yeah.
Monetary value, because it was
destruction of private property.
Yeah, it's just in a locked room
that a kid broke into
on the most sacred of nights. And one guard was just like, hey, what's going on? He Metal Gear Solid, man. He had a cone.
He's all, the guitar's on the floor. All right, put that back. Oh, it's on the floor again. Put that back.
Let me just grab it and put it here with my hands. Put it right up there.
My greasy guard hand. Been walking around all night touching grass.
It's just on 2 hooks. There we go. In 1942 Ernesto de la Cruz classic. Ka-chink. There we are.
Probably one of the most famous guitars in the world. All right, and that's a little loose.
It failed.
That screw.
It failed. Let me just put it back, as this is normal for this priceless heirloom to just fall. Here we are.
And it fell again because he tried to grab it, run, and it fell again, and he just went, well, that's crazy.
What's all this then? No, nothing to investigate here. Just the guitar.
I think it was on the ground when Miguel came back the last time, so the guard didn't even come back. It was just, the priceless heirloom was just in the dirt. The ramifications of smashing it. How about you take care of that shit?
Like I said, the scene is nice, but it highlights probably the part that irritates me the most. They never apologize to Miguel.
Yep, yeah, they didn't.
They never do.
From what we see. But yes, they never do on screen apologize to Miguel.
The acceptance of music can be seen as the apology, but there is no we are sorry for how you treated me. Yeah. Absolutely. Sure, if you want to accept that, sure.
If you want to find problem with that, sure. I will not argue against you.
They don't even say so much as I'm sorry. Not even.
That's what an apology is.
Elena, the one who caused
But if you
want
to go back to our boy John Rambo, he goes, an apology isn't just words, it's actions. Mm-hmm. And the actions are, we will not do this again. That is, like I said, if you wanted the words, if you wanted that heartfelt, dang, Miguel, it do be like that, huh?
Trouble. And since we never see the family when Miguel enters the land of Oz, we don't see what kind of growth they went through.
There was no growth. It was, he comes back with the guitar and the grandma's just like, nah, smash.
And then the dad's like, no, let him play. And then Grandma Coco remembers, and then they're like,
all of that stuff was a misconception.
And we stuck.
He didn't run out. Look at all these letters. It is that guy. Miguel tells the story of he left. He was poisoned. This guy stole poison. Poison. He took it and made it into movies. Come on.
It's so uncreative.
He's may have reassessed their stance on music and Miguel.
I wonder if Miguel ever told them what happened that night.
I don't think he would. It's way too hard to
explain how I went to the land of the dead.
But if he just goes, Mama Imelda, and starts getting off some facts about her that he should not know, maybe they would believe him. because they are very spiritual of put it on the offender, but
they get the
they might just be like, well, you got the spirits in you and they came to you and explained it. Maybe he did tell them a facet of the story about that, and they
just went, yep, that's the way it should be.
It do be like that. Yep, sure.
We get nothing. Even Buck Cluck said he was sorry. Which, let's talk about that. I've actually reevaluated.
Do we need to?
Buck Cluck.
Buck Cluck quite a bit.
I have never seen Chicken
Little.
Chicken Little.
I know the beginning and ending of my Chicken Little knowledge comes from Kingdom Hearts. Where he is in it and he shoots a gun and then he goes away.
He's not one of the ones that...
No, he is a summon.
He's not one of the ones that, clapped for this one.
No. He's not even particularly strong.
Oh, no.
Genie is busted. Mushu I just have... No, Mushu wasn't in that. Was there anyone other than Genie? My goodness. Simba? No, Simba was in another one. Simba wasn't even in another one. Who were the summons? Because Genie was just busted.
Which Kingdom Hearts was
2. Because there was Chicken Little. I think Stitch was in there. Chicken Little,
Genie, Stitch, Peter Pan.
Oh, you could fly. That's it. Yeah, it was Genie. It was all Genie. That was the only one that mattered.
Really? It was that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Genie's the only one that matters, y'all.
Since my Chicken Little video. Yes, he's not a good father, but the movie is aware of
animation
this.
Is not.
They don't excuse him for it.
The movie is aware that she's not a good person.
They don't excuse her for it.
It is a very irrational thing that she did. It is played for... When she smashes it, the music cuts and it's not a big cheering moment for the family. They're not like, yeah, you get him, Granny. They're like, yeah.
They acknowledge what he is doing is bad, and they not only have him say, I'm sorry, but they also have him unquestionably follow his son's lead, fight off alien soldiers, and even stand up to an alien overlord
is that what
who
Chicken
can
Little was
kill
about?
them at any moment.
My goodness,
just
that
to
went some
protect
places.
His son.
What happened with Chicken Little?
It doesn't make up for what Buck did, but it's far more palpable than anything this movie does.
Sure, but it is provably shown that she was wrong for her actions. Like we said, if you wanted the apology, absolutely, that's no problem. But she is sorry for the actions. And the music, allowing music to be played on the Night of the Dead a year later, again, I think that's enough because we talked about it. It's just not her story.
And even then,
she's really just a stand-in for the dead,
for the grandma. Yeah, she's really a stand-in for Imelda. And once the Imelda resolution is done, it's basically her resolution is done.
You can at least make excuses for him. His wife is dead. He's still probably getting over it. On top of the bad publicity his son garnered, must have put a lot of pressure on the guy.
Pause. And if you look at the granny, if you look at what Miguel says in the beginning, music tore the family apart, shoes brought them back together. She doesn't want music to tear the family apart. She wants shoes to keep them together.
Still a bad father, but at least he recognizes this and changes himself for the better. Heck, even Namari, another character who caused the conflict in her story, at least tries to say she...
nothing of that movie.
I have never seen this movie.
Awkwafina is so annoying in it.
You could have just said Awkwafina is so annoying, and that should have been the end of it.
Crazy.
She sucks, yo. I hate that. She just really co-opted that black lingo and stylistic expressions from your voice as a little Asian girl, and now it's just like, I'm in serious movies now, so I can't
demand to be taken seriously.
I can't be doing these roles where I'm going to be, don't tell. Come on now, bro.
She was a seagull in the Little Mermaid. And do you think she rapped?
I would hope she didn't.
Oh, I see. you must experience that rap one day.
Why?
Because it's not particularly good.
Then that's all the more reason not to.
I thought it would be the opposite.
It is the opposite, honestly. Let me hear just a smidge of it, just a tiny bit of it. Little Mermaid.
Have you not heard the scuttlebutt? No, the gossip, the buzz, the who said what? And flying here for you to see and hear what I found. Remember the swab? Remember?
Hey, do you think she does that 80 times? You see, because she's a seagull. So she must squawk 80 times. It's not a particularly good song, I'll say.
What are we doing out here? Who? It's just Suits. It's just Suits going, this is what the kids will like.
Yes. Hyper realistic crabs and seagulls rapping in Awkwafina's voice. Stamp. Somebody's clapping.
No! Somebody with a lot more money than me is clapping.
It made a little bit of...
Did it do 2.5 times its budget? Yes or no?
2.5? Yes.
I'm going to say yes too. I'm going to say almost 3.
Budget of 240 million. It made 569 million. It barely made double.
That's not 2.5 times.
It's really not.
So no, it didn't make its money.
It did not. It's not a good movie either.
No. But hey, that Lion King prequel is gonna be. What was the money we put on that?
50 something for something or other.
No, not the amount we put on. How much is it gonna make?
Oh, I forget. Mike knows.
What's today? Thursday. He's at his local, probably.
That's fine. We don't need to contact him over some.
Yeah, we can do it on the podcast.
Yeah, that's fine.
He's sorry. But because this bunch never even so much as thinks of apologizing to Miguel, and we never see how they change throughout the film, letting music back doesn't feel earned, nor does the emotional climax feel genuine. It feels more like they're letting it back because it served an objective purpose to them.
But they also learned that what they thought their whole life was actually a lie. The guy wanted to come back, and he was killed by Ernesto de la Cruz.
And stole his songs for profit.
So what are they gonna do now? Nah, keep in that music.
Yeah, music.
Stupid. And by proxy, its ultimate resolution is unearned. And I feel like a big part of this can be
unearned.
I don't either.
I think that it is because, again, what is the resolution? They realized that they were mistaken about music. Granny Coco likes it. She liked his music. The dude wanted to come back. He's not just some gutter trash that ran out on his family. He was about to come back. He had letters.
I don't understand how you have a pirated version of this when you made this 2 months ago.
Attributed to not just the writing, but the adventure itself. It steals a lot of screen time away from the familial strife.
No, from that familiar strife, but we're getting this familial strife, which is the beginning of it, the root cause of the issue.
Yeah.
We're solving the root problems, not the branches.
I don't see how he doesn't believe that the family would change upon hearing and seeing that everything they knew about music was wrong. I don't see how he would.
Kind of like that one Disney movie, and yet no one ever seems to acknowledge this. Look, I don't think Coco's a bad movie. It has elements I like in it, and if anything...
You called it a good movie earlier. Why are you not like...
Compliment sandwich. It's good. It's good. I just don't like this thing. Hey, don't dogpile on me because of... No, I like it. It's just the message is trash.
I'll probably just rewatch everything involving the Land of the Dead on all my subsequent rewatches and just pretend the living family doesn't exist. But Coco... It just feels like a watered down, worse written version of Encanto.
Encanto is not nowhere near as good as this. Because there wasn't even really a family conflict on the level of this. The most you could say is the way they treated Bruno.
And he went through all that about the Chicken Little stuff, and now he's just going to drop this and bounce?
A movie with a lot of similar parallels that actually dedicates the right amount of time it needs to make its message focused.
Because the focus is on the root problem, which is this family. Mm-hmm. The focus is always on the root cause of the issue.
Nuanced and balanced in a way that
makes
nuanced. Oh, mwah.
Its resolution feel earned.
Dude, don't say. I do not like how he explained Chicken Little in such depth and then just go, this is nuance.
He should have just talked about Encanto then, and then at the end, or just went Chicken Little's blah 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 blah.
Don't have it, or have it and explain it properly, because that did nothing for me.
You can enjoy this movie barring everything I just said. That's fine. More power to you. And if you think I am missing something, please make a response video to this and explain why I am wrong. I am genuinely curious. But
you're wrong because you've taken the message as incorrect. You started from a wrong point of we're supposed to sympathize with the grandmother.
We're supposed to sympathize with the family, period.
And by what she's doing, this is a bad thing. So we're already screwed up in that message of sympathizing with her when she's doing this bad thing. No, we're not supposed to do that. That's frame one that you're wrong.
Now, I just don't think this is going to be a movie that, as the years go by, people are going to talk about in the grand lineup of Pixar's greatest films.
Is that Cars 2?
Yes, it is. Cars.
Is that Monsters Inc?
Is that Luca or whatever? What's that in the corner?
Meet the Crews?
Who's talking about Meet the Crews? Bug's Life?
I was always an Ants man. But I should watch them back to back. And
should you?
Should I?
I can be good. I know how to fix this movie.
Monster University made bread. My goodness.
Corre, gatito.
Yeah, no, that's just absolutely not. It's again, you've made a message yourself, which again, themes are interpretive, and you just go, the message of this is wrong because of these reasons. Again, the movie is not bad because if you've interpreted the message, because again, the message could just be follow your dreams, because he did follow his dreams and ultimately he was correct. That could easily have just been the message. And is the movie better or worse when you look at it through that message? I don't know. I don't look at it through messages and things like that. I look at it as story, logical, consistency, characters, all that stuff. That's what I look at it through. You look at it through, I'm going to look at it through this lens that I've made up, this lens that I'm going to accept and judge this movie through this lens, and it does not hold up through this lens that I have made up.
Jumping off of your point, you could also see, because Miguel literally says it, that the message could be seen as family first. And in that instance, every bit of this makes sense in that the family did not accept Miguel's thing because they put their own wants and needs above his until the end where the dad's like, let him play. They finally accept Miguel's music, and because of that, Coco is cured, which again circles back to the message plays out and it's done in a way that is satisfactory and blah 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 blah. And then even with the adventure of the Land of the Dead, Miguel does not put his family first. He puts his own wants and needs first of the music, which leads them into danger. Hector almost getting forgotten, him almost dying, so on and so forth. And the family did not put Miguel's wants and needs first, because it was all about, hey, hate music no matter what. I don't care what you want. Hate the music. So once everybody started accepting what the family wants and putting the family first, not your own wants, beliefs, and selfishness, everybody ended up happy.
And let's never forget, Hector gave up the music to go back to his family.
Mm-hmm.
That was the thing that he did.
And Miguel was ready to do the exact same thing. Until they said, no, you could just go back. Time for you to go back.
No conditions.
No conditions. It's time to go back.
Because I was, like I said, I was looking at clips, and then one of the recommended was La Llorona. I was just like, let's go.
La Llorona is the
let's go. Just the singing and the avoiding them, and then De La Cruz comes and it's a duet, and it's so good.
And it's so funny because I've listened to that song so many times, y'all. The duet starts with, she's at a higher plane than he is, and then each time they each go a little higher, but he's always under, and then she cuts out and he reaches her plateau. It's so good. His singing is like low key, hers is a little higher than low key. Then hers like mid with the
and then the song ends just with him. In a position of power as he's stolen it's so good.
Coco is such a good fan movie.
And this did not convince me of it being a bad thing.
No, it convinced me that you picked a certain thing about it that really irked your believability and its quality and your enjoyment of that thing.
Especially basing it on other things like Finding Nemo. It's essentially, why couldn't it be like this, where there's a big revelation of I was wrong and I'm sorry and you are forgiven, and you just wanted that. And without that, the movie is lessened in your eyes when you've missed so much of it. With the whole the grandmother thing is just such a wild misconception of it.
Yep. I'm gonna go 8.5.
I was going 8.
All right. Yeah.
The points, him showing his points help. Yeah. I always say compare it to other things. Didn't do a particularly good job, but he still did it. Except for the ending of just like blah 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 in Kanto.
Yeah.
2 good songs. Fight me.
2.
No, it's got 3.
1.
The first song is not very memorable. I love Dos Yuquitos or whatever that is, because it's just nice and quiet. No, and then the Colombia. Oh, I get hyped when that hits. That Colombia, when that hits, and all of you, the ending song, that was good.
No. You got Bruno from me, and I am out.
I think that outside of the first song, I think that it is a largely good. Didn't Hair Girl Isabella, didn't she have a song as well? I don't remember that one. I'm not gonna say that wasn't very good. I don't bump that. But let me hit you with one. Get this bug age.
I'll also say Coco has really ruined a lot of musicals for me, especially when I watched Encanto after it, because it's very obvious that they're trying to sing, because they have a lot of these bravados and up and down voice inflections as they're singing. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, It just doesn't feel. Coco just makes it feel all so natural within the story that it just kind of hurts it to me sometimes.
And then there's a very good scene in the beginning where he's watching Ernesto, and it zooms in on his guitar and his fingers, and Miguel realizes, and then he's just sort of adjusts a little bit. That hits. It's the party song.
Yeah, okay, buddy.
Colombia.
I got one thing for you, buddy.
Colombia.
I got one thing for you, buddy. We don't talk about Bruno. No.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it is what it is. Hate surface pressure. Hate it.
I think it's overhyped. I don't listen to it.
I think it's
especially considering she's not really anything in the story.
I think it's just a bad song.
I think it's a fine song. People are muscle auga.
Of course. Which understandable. Marisa, muscle auga. Street Fighter, get in there.
But at the same time, it's not a very good song.
Yep.
Yeah, don't. Again, the Coco streak is unbroken with people not really explaining why it's bad.
No, he really explained why he believes it's bad. It just was not something I agree with personally.
It was from a point of just...
I think it was a broken perspective from the beginning if your belief is that we're meant to sympathize with the family and or the grandmother.
And the fact that we, we should learn why they're in this situation, show them arguing. Like, no, we don't really need that. I am fully accepting of... grandma put the propaganda in her mind.
And she ate it up because we've seen it happen now.
And this is another thing, but she is, because of Coco not being really in the right mind, she is the elder statesman, so she is tasked with keeping the family together.
And the way to do that is no music.
Yeah, I think that's all that is. I think we got one or two more in the pipeline.
Yeah, the Coco stuff.
The big long one, which seems...
That hour and 40 boy. That's a synopsis. God.
Potentially. But then there's that other family one.
Yeah.
We probably could have just banged that one out as well, but...
At this point, we're out of here. Once we start powering down, it's hard to power back up.
If we knew we were doubling up, that would have been like, all right, but now it's
with this being 20 minutes, you expect it to be a 2.5 hour boy, but an hour and a half? Yeah.
A bunch of synopsis and stuff. It is what it is. Again, try again next time.
Don't know what we're doing Saturday. Last Saturday of every month is Field Month, so in a few weeks we will have another Field boy.
I've got what I want to do. I've got two things
from the old.
Yeah, I don't know what you're doing but I don't want two serious ones. I want either if you're gonna go silly, I'll go serious. If you're gonna go silly, I'll go. I said the same thing.
Yeah. Tell me. I mean, are we trying to hide what we're doing from the other person?
Not necessarily.
Okay. Then we could just discuss. Though the shock of what we're doing is pretty fun.
But yeah, like I said, I have in my mind what I want to do for a serious one.
Okay.
I have what I want to do.
So here's what we'll do. I'll also pick a serious and silly one in my mind, and whichever one you feel stronger about, I'll pick the opposite direction of that.
I know where I'm going then.
Okay then.
Silly.
All right, then I will pick a serious film video.
Because there's something that I wanted to talk about for a very long time.
Mm-hmm. And maybe we throw Gavin at the end for the DSP tries it.
Yeah, no, that was the plan. We said that last time. But it's just depending on if he is available.
And if he's not, we just do a regular. Hey, what is he eating? What is he stuffing in his mouth?
As always with Saturday, he's gonna be streaming so we can check in on our boy.
He stinks.
Yeah, his rants recently have been
unhinged.
And
that money buff went away.
It's the money buff going away, and people are assuming that it's June the King, because when he puts out his
documentary,
he's gonna be like, and then Phil started wearing hats and glasses, and he can just be like, I don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
So that just takes away that
I haven't done that in
bam, done.
I haven't done that in weeks. That's old stuff.
My fans have moved on from it.
I've moved on. My fans have moved on. So this is already old information.
That's what it is for the viewers at large outside of the Phil verse, and they just look in on that. They go, he's wearing a gun. He's got like 6 vests and stuff. No, I don't. Not anymore. I don't do that anymore. We've moved on.
Yeah,
I've grown past that.
I put toys behind me. I'm telling you. I have not heard a second of that clip past that Wolverine part.
I've been forced to because I listened to Detractors, and a couple of them, I don't know why, but they rewinded that. I'm like, what are y'all doing? And darn near crashed my car. That's horrible.
It's so cringe. And I am not a person that uses that term lightly. I cringed and I turned it off, and I have never turned it back on. What are you talking about? You just said you only heard it because of Detractors.
Of course, but still.
Don't say course like, oh yeah, you're still a coward.
Listen to it.
Yeah, forced.
Yeah.
You can't just be like, oh, I watched this movie because they had a gun to my neck.
Yeah,
you coward, you ain't watch it.
Yeah, I still watched it. I have that information.
Nah,
I have that dance.
I have the dance too, and then I don't.
It's horrible,
dude. Yeah. Yep. Maybe we'll do something fun for the stream since we're coming off that long Sugar Boy. Something short and fun.
We always have. It was a couple weeks ago when we were looking through the list. There was a bunch that jumped out, so we still have that.
Oh yeah.
Somebody put out this dude that has a bunch of smaller Demon Slayer videos.
Yeah, we could just have a Demon Slayer day.
But we will decide that.
As always.
Yeah, boy. But it can't be. If you're coming in later tomorrow, yeah, I'm gonna be seeing drugs.
Yeah, no, we'll do it Saturday. We do it Saturday morning sometimes. Especially since I doubt you have to take Chris anywhere anymore on Saturdays.
Goodness.
So yeah, we are smooth.
Alright. Figure out some Coco stuff next time, y'all. That's a wee-woo from your boys. 10-4 over and out. That I'm the truck guy now. I do truck lingo.
Why?
It's in our blood, family. Our dad was a trucker.
Yeah, he was a lot of things. He was also a drug mule.
Yeah. What do you think I've been doing?
Hey, you did get a car recently.
Yeah.
Over the border.
Speaking of which,
he's dead.
With any luck, if you want any of that, because like I said, I was helping my friend. I don't think
yeah, dude, all that crap downstairs. I came in. I was like, Eric, what'd you bring? He's like, that's Bane stuff.
I was helping a friend move. They were like, you want this? I was like, it's a bunch of junk.
I saw a rock band drum kit or whatever.
I got snowboard, a full snowboard, snow boots, and a helmet.
I saw the helmet. I'm like, what am
I?
What part of this do you think
me to throw this stuff away?
Essentially. They're just using you as a garbage man.
There might be drugs in that mug. But I'm just going to put it into the Facebook marketplace or something. See if I got any bites. If not, throw it out.
Yeah, I'll look through it. See
probably get like $30 for all that Guitar Hero stuff.
Yeah. Depending on, I think some of that stuff is very expensive. In the secondhand market, but don't talk to me about it. I don't know.
That snowboard, I could probably get something.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's a nice snowboard. I don't know if it's a nice snowboard because I've never seen a snowboard.
I can.
Why would I?
Send me a picture of it. One of my friends snowboards. He might be able to be like, hey, yeah, that's a nice snowboard.
And I got an air purifier, which.
Hey, I'll take that, boy.
I've already sold one to Eric. There were 2 of them. He was pulling out. He was just like, is this an air purifier? I was like, yeah. Like, I'll give you $8 for it. I was like, 15.
Oh my God, you were just gonna throw it out anyway.
Potentially.
Eric, whenever you listen to this, just know he got off on you. You are a motherfucker.
He wanted had to buy it.
He should have just been like,
there is now worth to this.
The worth to me is $0.
Okay, but so you would have been like, yeah, give it to me. And they'd be like, no. And that's it.
Yeah.
But he went money. And I'm like, oh, he's willing to pay, huh?
If you're willing to pay.
It's okay, I got you. And he was, who knows? Because he accepted it quickly. So who knows?
Yeah, I got it. It probably would have been like a $35
That's that low balling stuff. In his mind, he had $30. He's like, I'll go as high as $30. Give me 15. Go.
But you would have probably just gave it to him anyway. So
everybody wins.
No, he kind of lost.
He has to pay less. I get paid something. He gets an air purifier.
Unbelievable. I hope it's broken.
You calling my friend into suspicion?
It's junk they gave you. You literally said you're a garbage man to them.
Look at this. That's $40. That's on sale though. Almost $120.
It probably don't look like that.
40, 90. Everybody win.
He ain't win.
What is this? Is this more AI stuff?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Chill out.
I am so getting tired of the AI. It is. Google is cooked.
Yeah. You look up anything and it's just like, people are saying.
That's not what I'm. The best use of AI I've seen so far is Amazon, where they pull all the people and go,
absolutely.
Positives, positive, negative for quality. They're saying this.
That is absolutely the best.
Outside of that,
I'm sick of it.
Sick of it. There's a controversy right now because an AEW wrestler put out a new shirt and they were like, oh, this artist uses AI.
Oh no.
And they're like, they commissioned that artist for it, and now people are like, that shirt's AI. And now there's a huge kerfluffle about it.
And it's just gonna get better and better and harder to figure out.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So
they wouldn't have even figured it out because the artist touches up and edits the obvious AI parts. If they weren't just like, hey, I use AI and edit some of the stuff, people probably wouldn't have figured out, for the most part, that it was AI. It sucks. Yeah. There needs to be regulation like today about this. Yeah, and did you see in Twitter with their porn thing? It's just like, yeah, AI generated porn counts too. You can put that up. What? How? So mobs could just deep fake and just be on there?
Yep. No problem.
Crazy.
Totally allowed.
Alright.
The second customary wee-woo.
First off, the first one was a wee-loo.
Was it?
Yeah, you said wee-loo. Well, and I even made fun of you a little bit.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah. Too busy thinking about that cool snowboard.
Yeah. That I'm gonna get so much use out of.